Hi guys, it's Jen here and welcome to Jen's Wild About Art. So today I'm going to do a pen and ink drawing for you of this gorgeous little brown bear. I found this picture on Pixabay. I was just searching for references and I saw this beautiful photograph of this bear and he was just having a sleep by a creek somewhere, by a river. And he must have had an awful fun day hunting and and eating fish, and now he's having a nana nap. So I thought I would just draw him because I just loved how he was resting and the way he just looked so comfortable. Yeah, I love drawing things in unusual positions. So yeah, so I'm using my inks and my dip pens today. So these are a set of dip pens that I bought. They're Speedball dip pens and they're the drawing set. So I've got, it came with two, what are they called? Two pen holders, so two nib holders, so a large one and a small one, and two nibs themselves, one large one, one larger one small one. So I can do fine lines and large lines. So I use two dip pens for this picture. And I'm using Daler and Rowney acrylic ink in black, and later I'll be using the brown Sennelier, and it's a shellac based ink. So yeah, so I'm using two different brands of ink, but it's a bit of fun to use different colours and things. And yeah, so I found these few different inks that I'm really enjoying at the second. So yeah, as you can see, I work just dipping into the ink bottle on the side there. I've got it popped in a little white container because I'm quite messy and I usually end up with ink everywhere. So yeah, I've just popped it in there because I thought I know I would knock it over and end up with ink all over the room if I didn't have it in this little bowl, because the table I work on a bit of an angle. It's like a architect's desk, I suppose, so you can lift it on 4 or 5 different angles, so I could have it almost upright facing me or on slight tilt. So I've got it on a slight tilt, but of course then anything I sit on it, it's on a slight tilt and I'll tip it. So yeah, so I've popped the ink bottle in a little bowl, and every so often you'll see my hand go off screen and I'm just dipping my dip pen into some water just to clean off the nib, because every so often the little hole that's in the middle of the nib that holds the ink fills up and sort of sets a little bit, so I quite regularly dip it over in the water and give it a swoosh around. So yeah, as you can see, I'm working with the small dip pen at the second, the small nib, and I'm just marking in the fur texture, and I'm following the direction that his fur is going, and I'll just take this all over his body. I leave white paper for highlight areas, and I'm sort of figuring out how to, because he's got quite thick fur, I'm figuring out how to sort of mark his fur in the different parts of his body, because he's sort of got a big woolly neck, and then he's got longer fur on his legs, which I'm marking in now, and the texture on his paw, I'll zoom in for you, the texture on his paw, as you can see, it sort of runs in different directions, so it's quite a complex little drawing. But yeah, it's fun to try. I recommend having a go. Anyone can do this. It's awesome fun. So yeah, and it's nice because there's only a couple of things. You only need a dip pen and some ink. So it's really simple to do. You can even do this with a fountain pen or your fine liners. I do a fair bit with fine liners because these are only water resistant. They're not waterproof, so I don't use watercolour over the top of these. I have been doing some watercolour ink and watercolour pictures, but yeah, these are water resistant, so I didn't want to risk smudging. Rather I just save that and use waterproof ink. So yeah, so now I'm just darkening in or marking in the fur on his belly, and just mark that all in the direction it's going in the photograph. And for the darker shadowy areas, I literally just put lots and lots of little marks all together, so, and it just creates a darker area. So now I'm following the lines around his back leg and trying to follow the direction of the fur that I can see, and yeah, trying to with the lines, I've figured out if you just do lots of little lines but sort of do it in a circular motion, then you don't end up with rows of little hairs. You end up with a more natural staggered looking sort of effect. rather than doing them all in lines, one on top of the other. You end up with just rows of fur, which looks a bit strange. So I figured that one out for myself because I've always drawn, but I'm very new to ink drawing. So, but loving experimenting with it. And absolutely in love with these dip pens. So now I've gone to the larger dip pen, and as you can see, it does put a lot more ink on the paper. You still get a defined line if you want it, but I can actually make it puddle a little bit and create darker, deeper shadows. So I've got him looking a little bit cross-eyed here, so I will go in and fix his eyes up after. I just got to let them dry because it does stay wet for quite a little while. So I'll just go back in after and I'll just let them dry, fix them after. So now I'm just marking in more fur around his face. I've gone back to the little dip brush here because I've got to do some more little fur around his muzzle and around his cheeks. And trying not to keep the hair in lines. And now I've got my Sennelier ink rather, and the colour of this is, I think it's raw sienna. Just getting the bottle and having a look. Burnt sienna. So I'm using burnt sienna in the Sennelier ink. So just taking that in because he's a brown bear. And now again I go in just with finer lines, keeping them close together, and it creates, the look of the brown fur, brownish fur around his body. So then I take that all around his little face, and I think it starts to look really nice with a little bit of colour. So I bought a few different colours of these in the Senneliers. So I've got the primary, so I've got blue, red, yellow, and a couple of extras. I've got a couple of browns, a couple of reds. So for a bit of fun. So it'd be fun to try and see what I can do with the different colours. But today I'm just using the brown and black. So I take that around the rest of his body. And I'm still using the little dip pen. So I just mark in amongst all the black fur. I mark little hairs in sort of randomy spots where he's got lighter spots in the photograph. Righto, so then take it around his shoulder. Now pop some grass in, so because he's having a relax on some nice soft grass. And literally that's just random squiggles. Pop his little whiskery bits on. And now I'm just going to pop some brown in amongst his ears and just fill in the white gaps. I won't do it all over him, I'll just do it in random areas, like in areas that are highlighted or show up as quite brown in the photograph. He's starting to look pretty cool. So now I pop some fur lines on his muzzle and fill a little bit more in there. And now to stop him from looking so cross-eyed, I go back in with my Posca pen, which is an acrylic ink marker, and I just pop in some whites, and then I go back in with my small dip pen and just define the eyes a little bit around those whites. And then finish off with some more. I go over the brown with just another layer, and that darkens it up, takes it up to another tone, which is really a good effect that I'm finding. I'm learning as I go with these. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I really loved sharing it with you, and I thoroughly enjoyed drawing the bear in this position. I'd love it if you enjoyed it to click like and subscribe. If you click on the bell icon, you'll see more of my videos as they pop up. And I'll see you all next time. So have an awesome day, guys. Bye.